everyone on earth can relate to how annoying it is when other people are trying to tell you what you have to do or what you don't have to do or how you should do something, how you should drive, how you should eat, whatever it is. On a day-to-day basis, at least in my experience, I am very, very sure that we can all relate, or that we have all experiences about how annoying or how irritating it is when somebody is trying to basically force their opinion, will, or perspectives on you and your life. Now, first of all, understanding that and feeling that experience, I wouldn't say that it is not something that's natural. I can understand where it comes from. But on the other hand, I at least also in some situations are doing the exact same thing. Now, I don't think that in most situations it's really something that people do or trying to do something bad. Everybody has at least the feeling inside of themselves that we want to help somebody because we have a certain experience. We have experienced certain things in a certain way that have taught us that we should do something in that way and that we shouldn't do something in a different way. And I think that is basically the point here, that we all try to help one another by giving our advice, even if other people didn't ask for it. Now, let's say, for example, we are driving and we see that something is happening, or maybe we believe that somebody is driving too fast. Because I, for example, am somebody that drives very, very slow. I'm definitely not a very hard or fast driver. So when I'm in the car with somebody that is maybe a faster driver, it is very, very annoying for that person if I would have tell him or her to slow down all the time. Especially the people that have a driver's license and have driven a lot of times with other people around. We can all relate very well that it's very, very annoying when somebody is constantly telling you how you should drive and that you shouldn't do this and that you should do that. Yes, we can of course help somebody by giving them a little bit of advice, or maybe somebody didn't see something, so we can tell them to watch out for something. That's not annoying, that's helpful. But constantly trying to tell people, do this, do that, we can all relate very well that it's one of the most annoying things. But we are also in many cases doing it ourselves, again, because we want to help people. Now, the point here that I'm trying to make, or that I want to make, is that it's very difficult to step in somebody else's shoes. So I could have had some experiences that have taught me that I shouldn't do something in a certain way, but I have that experience. So that means I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to run a marathon or start my own business. But somebody that hasn't done that before doesn't have that same experience and therefore doesn't have that same feeling. And it is all about feelings. Now, one very good example, I live in Germany, I live in the West, and in all honesty, I have had a very good life and a very good upbringing. So for example, I have never ever felt in my life how it feels to not have something to eat. Now, I know, of course, that there are a lot of people in this world that do have that experience, do have that feeling. Now, I'm here not saying, I don't want to say that it doesn't exist. Of course it does exist, but I don't know exactly how that feels. So it's very difficult for me to put myself in the shoes of someone that does had that experience. Doesn't mean that I'm not acknowledging the fact that it exists, but it just doesn't feel the same for me because I have never had that experience. And that's also the case, what I see with a lot of people from different generations. Now, for example, me in regards to the generation of my parents, or me in regards to the generation of people who are younger than me. We didn't have the same upbringing. We didn't have the same problems and the same obstacles that we had to conquer. So for me, the world looks very different than how the world looks to my parents. So now for me, telling my parents what to do simply doesn't work. And for them to tell them how I should live my life and what I should do also doesn't work, because we don't have the same experiences. And that's basically a very big point that I see coming up a lot, especially in this world, especially in 2025, where almost on an continuously base, people are only trying to tell other people how to live, what to do. You shouldn't do this, you should do that, you should buy a house, you shouldn't buy a house. I don't know, whatever it is. There are all sorts of things that we are trying to tell other people. Another example is looking at myself. I, at this point in my life, wouldn't think about buying a house or leasing a car because I don't want to be attached to monthly payments. And yes, there's always a way. You can always sell your house or you can always pay off a lease contract. But that's for my situation at this point where I'm currently at, not the point where I want to be. Now, there are lots of people that do buy houses, that do lease cars or buy a house or buy other stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that because for their experiences, in their situation, in their life, it's very important. Now, if I would go up and tell somebody that just bought a house or that just leased a car and tell them that they're crazy and that they're not doing the right thing, the only thing that will get me is frustration and anger. Other people will get angry at me because they have a very different experience and have a very different feeling. Also, first of all, let's say I try to force them to not do it. Now we are angry at each other, we have a fight with each other, and it doesn't bring me anything. At the end of the day, I convince them, my life goes on and nothing changes. On the other hand, or basically point B, I cannot take away a lesson from somebody because I am not God. I am not God. I cannot take away something that somebody has to learn. So maybe they are making a very big mistake, but now I'm taking away that mistake from them and I am basically interrupting their life path and their learnings and the things that they need to learn. Because maybe they are going to make a very big mistake, but they need to learn that lesson and feel that lesson for them to have that experience and to do things in a different way. And that's also at least my opinion. Looking at children, looking at relatives or other people, I'm not here trying to tell people how to live. I'm not here trying to tell people, children, what they should do and what they shouldn't do. They are here to have their own experience and learn their own lessons. I can maybe guide them and help them and tell them about my experience and my lessons, but I cannot force them to go in a certain direction. I cannot force someone to want to do something that I want them to do, that they even themselves don't even want to do. Why? How on earth can I want something more for somebody than they want themselves? And that's basically the point that I'm trying to make here. Also something that I am really, really focused on for myself, to not force and try to tell people what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and live their life, maybe help them, give them some advice based on my own experiences. But that's it. And maybe on another note, help people to go and do the thing that they want to do. If they want to buy a house and I don't want to buy a house, at least I can help them move. I can help them with questions they have. I have bought a house in the past, so maybe I can help you. And maybe I don't want to do it. Maybe it doesn't fit my perspective and my life, but at least I'm not going to change somebody. So at least I can try to help them and move in the direction that they want to go. So that is my experience. That's the point that I want to make in this video. Let us know about yours. Share them in the comments. And for now, again, thank you very much for listening.